The Australian Grand Prix was a dramatic one for Lewis Hamilton, who endured a difficult weekend in Melbourne. Mercedes' high hopes for a positive result were dashed after Hamilton faced several obstacles that prevented him from competing at the front. In the midst of this situation, Mercedes team boss Toto Wolff made a statement that was so surprising that it caused the Ferrari camp to react. What exactly did Toto Wolff say, and why were his comments so surprising for Ferrari? Let's discuss. Seven-time Formula One world champion Lewis Hamilton began his new adventure with Ferrari at the Australian Grand Prix, which was the season opener. However, his debut with the Scuderia did not go smoothly, as Hamilton could only finish 10th in a race full of incidents at the Albert Park circuit in Melbourne. After his sensational move from Mercedes, Hamilton's first steps with his new team were met with high expectations. However, the race in Australia showed that the transition to Ferrari would not be as easy as expected. His teammate, Charles Leclerc, finished 8th, outperforming Hamilton in his first race with the legendary Italian team. One of the main factors that made things difficult for Hamilton was the radio communication between him and the team. The 40-year-old driver was involved in several tense conversations with his new race engineer, Riccardo Adami. This lack of coordination had a major impact on the race strategy, especially when Ferrari decided to stay on slicks despite dangerous track conditions due to changing weather. This inappropriate strategic decision made it difficult for Hamilton to compete with his rivals and hampered his efforts to achieve a better position. The driver also admitted that he still needed time to get used to the new car and the working system at Ferrari. Responding to the disappointing result, Ferrari team principal Fred Vasseur did not deny that his team made mistakes in the first race of the season. He emphasized that Ferrari must improve immediately in order to be more competitive in the following series. It was the first race, the first time we had to communicate between the pit wall and the car, and we could have done a better job of getting to know each other, said Vasseur. The strategy was difficult. The communication between the car and the pit was not optimal, and we have to improve this aspect. We have learned from our mistakes in race 1 and will be better in the next races. Meanwhile, Mercedes team boss Toto Wolff admitted that he is still following Lewis Hamilton's development after his move to Ferrari, even though the driver is now competing for the team that made his name. As someone who has worked with Hamilton for more than a decade, Wolff admitted that it is a different feeling to see Hamilton at another team, especially at Ferrari, one of Mercedes' main rivals in Formula One. Since Hamilton's departure, Mercedes made a strategic move by recruiting a talented teenager from Italy, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, to fill the empty seat next to George Russell. This decision was a topic of discussion among F1 fans and analysts, considering that Antonelli is still very young and has no experience in Formula One. However, Mercedes' confidence in this young talent is not without reason. Antonelli has shown great promise in the junior category and is considered one of the best talents of recent years. The new Mercedes duo made a good start to the season at the Australian GP, with Russell finishing 3rd and Antonelli 4th. This result is a positive signal for the team, considering that they have struggled to compete at the front in recent years. The speed of the Mercedes car, which seemed to be more competitive than last season, was one of the factors behind their success in this opening race. However, in the midst of this success, Wolff revealed that he is still used to seeing Hamilton's name on the Mercedes driver list. When I look at the screen, sometimes it feels like we have 3 drivers because I see Russell, Antonelli, and Hamilton, said Wolff. And then I realized Ham is at Ferrari now, not with us anymore. This statement shows the extent of Hamilton's influence at Mercedes, both as a driver and as a team icon. Wolff admitted that even though Hamilton is now a rival, he still pays attention to his former driver's performance. It's been a long time, and logically you can't just say, he's gone, and then stop caring, he added. Of course we still care about what he does, but now he is our competitor and our job is to beat him. While Mercedes have shown signs of improvement, Hamilton has had a disappointing start to life with Ferrari. The 7-time world champion could only manage 8th in qualifying and finish the race in 10th place. This result is certainly not what Ferrari were hoping for, as they were looking for a significant improvement in performance after struggling to compete with Red Bull and McLaren last season. Ferrari seemed to lose pace in Melbourne, leading many to question whether they are ready to challenge for the world title. Some analysts have said that Ferrari's main weakness is a lack of efficiency in tire management and a lack of stability in the balance of their car on bumpy tracks. Hamilton himself admitted that they have a lot of homework to do if they want to be competitive throughout the season. Mercedes are still looking for a way back to the top after struggling since the aerodynamic regulation changes in 2022. Although the German team appear to have started the 2025 season stronger than the previous three, Wolff stressed that they still need to improve their performance if they are to compete with McLaren and Red Bull. McLaren, who dominated the Australian GP with Lando Norris winning, are the main benchmark for Mercedes. Wolff admitted his team must find a way to catch up. "I think it was a solid first weekend, but realistically McLaren are very strong," he said. "We have to improve if we want to fight for race wins and the championship. We still need to find something." One of the main areas of concern for Mercedes is tire management. McLaren and Red Bull have shown a better ability to keep their tires in good condition, while Mercedes suffer from faster tire degradation, which has affected their race pace. This is a major challenge that must be overcome if they are to continue to compete at the top. "We are struggling to keep our tires in optimal condition," added Wolff. "They can do it better and that makes them faster. We lose performance because the tires overheat. I would like to be closer to them, but this is the reality." With the challenges ahead, Mercedes will have to work extra hard if they are to return to winning ways. Despite their improved performance, they are not yet at the level they had hoped to be in order to compete consistently at the front. Meanwhile, Ferrari and Hamilton will also need to find a solution to their predicament if they are to compete for the title this season. With the many dynamics that have occurred at the beginning of this season, the competition in Formula 1 2025 is predicted to be even more interesting and full of surprises. Although Lewis Hamilton's debut with Ferrari did not live up to many people's expectations, especially after less than satisfactory results in several early season races, Ferrari team principal Frédéric Vasseur remains optimistic that his team will soon recover and find its best performance. According to him, every challenge is part of the adaptation and learning process, both for Hamilton and the team as a whole. This week's Chinese Grand Prix is a golden opportunity for Ferrari to correct the mistakes made in the previous race and show significant improvements in terms of strategy and car performance. With increasingly limited time to adjust, Hamilton is expected to be able to better understand the characteristics of the Ferrari car and optimize its potential to achieve better results. "We need to understand what Lewis needs, both in terms of communication with the team and a race strategy that is more suited to his driving style. It is only by facing situations like this that we can learn and develop. I am sure that, with time, we will be better at the next race," said Vasseur confidently. With a big challenge ahead in Australia, where he has yet to show his best form, Hamilton now faces the difficult task of adapting to the philosophy and dynamics of his new team. As an experienced driver and seven-time world champion, he certainly has the ability to recover from adversity and rediscover his best rhythm on the track. Although Hamilton's early journey at Ferrari was full of challenges, his experience and passion became the team's most important assets for development. Ferrari needs to evaluate its racing strategy and internal communications to be more competitive. With the team's support and Hamilton's efforts to understand his new car, the possibility of better results remains open. Now all eyes are on the Chinese Grand Prix as a proving ground for Ferrari and Hamilton to show their evolution. Can Hamilton quickly find his best rhythm with his new team? Write your opinion.